have arrived. All you other suckers, wait 5. We're here, Video Game Town, the Video Game Town Hall podcast. It's the official podcast of videogame.town. I am the mayor of such said town, Jared Russo, and I'm here with the man who runs the town underneath the town. He's the mole man, Grant Bruner.
I'm the mole man watcher, please. I watch mole men. I am not a mole man myself. I'm Grant Bruner, and I am also the editor-in-chief of Video Game Town.
Sure, whatever you say, mole man. So, you didn't even see the Fantastic Four movie that came out last year that actually had Mole Man in it.
No, but I'm a big Mole Man fan in general.
Oh, you should see that movie. It was very good.
Is it mostly about Mole Men?
More than you'd think.
Wow. If you had said, Grant, list 100 things that the Fantastic Four movie could be about, Mole Men would not be among them.
Well, it's not like the mythological creature. It's like the comic book character Mole Man.
Oh, well, that's less interesting. I was hoping it would be all about mole men.
No. It's like a crazy guy who builds Subterranea and has like a town underneath the fictional New York. And it's like, you surface dwellers, how dare you? Like, it's like a whole character from the comics.
Everybody loves the mole men. Jared, what are we here to talk about today?
There are so many goddamn things buzzing around. Mm-hmm. Everyone's talking about Summer Game Mess, non-E3. There was a State of Play. There was an Xbox thing. There was a PC thing. All these new trailers. Mm-hmm. All these new games. But we can get to that later. What we really want to talk about is one particular storyline that keeps bubbling to the surface like Ebola, just pouring out from every orifice. And you're like, why does this keep oozing out? What is going on? And it's because the economy and the industry is just secretly filled with this black goo, this terrible liquid called generative artificial intelligence. Yeah. And it's all just propped up on it, like two kids in a trench coat trying to sneak into a movie. And it is flames on the side of my face.
Yeah. I created a list of like things to talk about. And I have part of the list is just like, oh, there's some games that were like announced or shown off. And then I have 4 bad things, 2 of which are bad AI. And then I have 2 other, not like bad is but maybe too complicated, but like it's a great list of the 2 AI ones are Crazy Taxi. They're rebooting Crazy Taxi with generative AI, and Tomb Raider reboot with a generative AI. Those are really frustrating. There's been a lot of discourse today. Like, as we're recording this on June 8th, the day of discourse, because Jeff Grubb said some stuff and then retracted some stuff about whether or not he would play it. I legitimately don't know what to do about the AI situation. Like, obviously, you and I are both very much on record. Generative AI is not good. A generative AI, as we have been shown it to date, bad. Not good. It generally involves stolen content. It requires a lot of electricity. It requires a lot of water to cool off the machines. And then, truth be told, it results in a lot of bad shit. a lot of gunk. To get something halfway usable, it will require you to just spend a lot of time massaging it. And at that point, what are we doing with our lives? If we're wasting all of this time and energy and stealing shit from other people just to make something that kind of sucks and requires another person to massage it into place, why can't we cut out the middleman and just have humans make it? However, more and more games are using it. It's not like, oh, we have to accept it and this is the new future. I am not crystal clear. I am not saying that. What do we do about it? How do we handle it as a outlet that does not like AI? We are of the opinion that AI is not good. Generative AI is bad. What do we do? Do we not cover the games? It's just like, I am very open to that. I just legitimately don't know the fucking answer to the question. I think it's off-putting. It makes me not want to play. Like, I probably would have played the Tomb Raider reboot, and now I don't want to play it. I don't have all that much strong feelings about Crazy Taxi, so, you know, whatever. I probably wasn't going to play it to begin with, but let's say I loved Crazy Taxi, I would probably be like, I guess I'll do something else. And I people have been saying that, like, will the industry split into like AAA AI games and then indie handmade artisanal games. I don't know, dude. What do you think? Like, do you think that is where we're headed?
Let me preface all of this by saying that you have not played games for much stupider reasons.
Like what?
First of all, Bayonetta 3.
Well, I mean, like, that's much more complicated, like, interpersonal stuff, and like it was also,
but it's
like,
sillier.
Like, it's really complicated about like trying to understand what the relationship with that voice actress was like. I don't know, like, complicated and weird. I still don't really fully understand the situation.
I can't believe we're still calling it AI. It is not artificial intelligence.
Sure, but like what Gen AI. That's what in the same way as like video games is probably not like the perfect name for all things that are interactive, like digital goods, but that's the word that's the term we ended up with. Like, I know. Gen AI is what the term we have for the bullshit, even though like obviously it isn't like quote unquote artificially intelligent. Gen AI, generative AI, is like what we ended up with.
It is just the most evil technology that is supplanting crypto as like the new thing every rich person is trying to shove in our faces to make more money. And it's not smart, and it can't think, and it doesn't do anything that anyone else hasn't already fucking done. So if you use it, you're a traitor to the human race. Secondly, here's the issue. At a certain size of studio and a certain budget of studio, all the way up to the top, they're just going to fucking use it. They're all using it. There's way more studios I know are using it than are ones that have already proclaimed to have used it. That's just the way it is now. And so what we have to do is we have to essentially destroy all these fucking data centers and just destroy the technology because it's too late. There are going to be way more instances of people just being like, you know what? Let's just come out and say it in a PR statement. It'll blow over. People will buy the game. They'll move on. Because most people aren't paying attention to this. Most people are probably using ChatGPT. Like the normies. The normies are the bulk of people who buy these games. The normies are the ones who don't pay attention to the news. As much as you and I want to withhold our money to sort of like vote with our wallets, it doesn't work. There's not enough of us. You need a crazy, staggering number of people to actually boycott something for it to have a financial impact. This is just going to happen going forward is every fucking game of a certain size that's not an indie will be like, yeah, we just used it. We used it for placeholder, temp art. We just used it to generate ideas. We used it in play testing. We used it to write some dialogue that we're going to... They're all going to use it, and it's going to be in every grain and facet of our lives. And it fucking sucks, but there's nothing we can do other than just straight up putting people in... Is that too hyperbolic?
I think it's probably too hyperbolic and will require some editing.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I do not like this idea of, well, there's no ethical consumption under capitalism, and as such, shrug, whatever, man, who cares? I guess I'm just going to continue to consume like a good little piggy. I don't even, like, obviously, like, structured boycotts like the boycott against Microsoft, which I certainly have been participating in, trying to eliminate as much of my interfacing with Microsoft as possible, as a protest, as a way to make them know that their aiding in the genocide in Gaza is unacceptable. And I don't cover them. I can't stop other people from covering it, but whenever I do edit something, I do put information about the genocide and the boycott. If I know for sure that something has used AI, I think that it's like immediately off-putting. It immediately makes me not want to play it. And I think that like if the answer was like trying to think about things that like I grant love, because like it's easy for me to be like, I'm not going to play Crazy Taxi because I don't really give a shit about Crazy Taxi. So like think about something that I deeply care about, and it's like Mass Effect. Do they put out a Mass Effect that is chock-a-block with bullshit? Like, you know, even if it isn't assets, but it's like, well, we used it in the previs. Does that mean that I don't play it? And I think the answer is like, yeah, like, yes. Like, last year we had like this weird thing because I feel like last year was the first year it started to become a thing where I had already played Clair Obscur. Then it came out that there was like, well, they had used some like generative AI bullshit, and then they removed it from the game. But then it then feels weird. And I'm like, I don't know. And then Root Trees Are Dead, which is not even a AAA game. It was a hyper indie. Like it was like initially created when it was a Game Jam game. And then the Game Jam game used generated art. And then when they were like, okay, another person approached the original developer and said, can we make this a real game? And get rid of all of this bullshit and make it actual real person art, and then, you know, flesh it out and make it into a game you can sell. Like that is such a weird thing. Like I don't feel like I know how I feel. Like I feel bad that AI was used to begin with, but like that is such a weird series of events that I don't have like a clear moral like understanding. Like my moral compass when it says something like supporting like the genocide in Gaza is like very clear and obvious to me. The like this at some point used a thing that had generative AI and then now doesn't have generative AI and now is like a different product even though it was influenced by the original product. I'm like, I don't fucking know, man. I literally don't know.
It's impossible to tell. It seems like most of the cases are people using it in pre-production. And even if it ends up in the final product like Crimson Desert, they patch it out and they move on. And it's like it's becoming like almost as if it's like a personal choice of like, oh, I have a preference and my preference is to use it, or some people have a preference to not use it. And it's like, yeah, but your preference to use it is almost just like that is fucking poisoning like real cities. It's like poisoning communities. It's like, oh yeah, we just like chose because we like felt like it. So that's mind blowing.
And
first
like,
off,
like obviously like there are a bunch of problems with the data centers, but like, or it's not just that some data centers exist, because like, listen, obviously before anybody was talking about Gen AI, data centers existed. The problem isn't that the concept of data centers exist. It's like the scale needed to do AI horseshit is like,
yeah,
it's massive.
It's what they've become.
And if you're serving websites where it's like, okay, well, this is like a thing that serves society. Like you're hosting information, like that's good. This does a thing. And then where it's like, okay, well, we're going to need 1 billion more of these, and they're going to need to be way bigger than they were previously. And they all just make bullshit. Your grandpa is going to get a phone and he's going to take a picture of a cat, and then he's going to run it, send that picture of the cat to a server somewhere, and it's going to make that cat into an anime lady or whatever the fuck AI does. Where I'm like, oh, well, this seems worse than hosting a website.
You brought up an interesting point off podcast about like the differences in reactions for North America versus studios in Asia.
Yeah.
Because there have been a lot of differences in how games are made in Europe, because like they actually have like regulations around like, you know, workers' rights and like corporate malfeasance and mass layoffs and shit like that. So like when it comes to Asia, there are completely different rules set in place.
Yeah, I want to give this credit to Daniel Ahmad, ZHUGEEX.com on Blue Sky.
He's a great follow.
So he's a great follow. He is an analyst for like Asian markets, video games in Asian markets, and he is a important part of Reset Era. Obviously, like a very, very, very good, important person in the industry, and like at least like kind of like where we are, and like kind of like I'm trying to understand the intersection between video game development and the audience. And I wanted to give credit. He was basically saying that like many other countries that have much better workers' rights, like worker protections, AI has not been weaponized in the same way it has been weaponized in the United States, of like a bunch of CEOs being like, good news, we're firing all you fucks and replacing you all. We're gonna all of the money we would have been spending on your healthcare, we're now spending on tokens.
Yeah, it just reeks of upper management being forced by shareholders to answer the question, can you just start implementing it because we want to, like, it's just like no one who's responsible for like important things, money's on the line, is ever going to be like no and push back. It's always going to be a series of people who have money and are making a ton of money who want more money, telling the people on the lower end to use it and or get out, like this thing's replacing you.
The most insidious one, which is, hey, we're going to need you to train this AI so that it can replace you at a later date.
Well, it fucking happened to me when I worked at Google. Is we had 3 teams working around the clock, you know, making sure that like Google was accurate and Google News was right, and the Google Voice assistant, everything she said, like we would write what she said. We were fact checking, we were correcting links, and we trained the India staff because they were going to replace us with the India staff. And I bet you the India staff later on fucking started to train these models, and then they got replaced. Yep. And now Google is the worst it has ever been. There's no accountability. I have no idea how infinite growth the thing's going to get before it all just completely explodes and collapses into nothing.
Well, everything's super good and chill here in the United States, Jared, right? Everything's fine and definitely not teetering on the apocalypse.
Not just recession level, but like depression.
Yeah, it's bad.
Fucking crazy taxi. God damn it, dude.
Yeah, it sucks. No, it sucks. And like, I get it, and I am like repelled by it, which is to say, like, which is extremely frustrating, because you know for sure that the vast majority of the people who worked on the Tomb Raider reboot or who worked on Crazy Taxi are doing their fucking damnedest to make a good game. I can say that with my whole heart, knowing that the people, the boots on the ground who are actually making the game, those people are doing their fucking damnedest, probably not being paid very well, probably not being treated very well.
Correct. 100%.
So like, this is not, certainly not like, if you say like, oh, somebody worked at a company and they used AI to do a thing, we're almost like, well, I'm not surprised, because I'm sure it was like, we'll use this AI or you're fucking fired.
Yeah, they were told to. Yeah. So like the issue a lot of times with like specifically video games of like choosing what to buy and when to buy it, it's like, well, you're not really supporting the staff, because most of that staff, they're like contract workers, they're freelancers. But the people who actually are there, they've already been paid. They're salaried. They've already been paid. The bonuses they get, I don't even know if companies like still do like the Metacritic being tied to bonuses. I bet you the fucking corporate suits, the ghouls, have like gotten rid of that process. But it's like, games doing super well like does not benefit the people on the bottom of the rung who are doing most of the work.
No,
legitimately doing most of the work. So
the vast majority of the time, like, yes, those people will never benefit from the game succeeding, and in fact might just get laid off anyway.
Oh yeah, no, there's success is not tied to like it
reality.
Because in order to look good in Wall Street, they love laying people off.
Yeah, it's
because you're not spending money on the games, which are taking way longer to make. Because that's the bulk of how games. It's like that's what companies are spending. It's like it's just labor cost.
So, not related to AI directly, but related in the sense of this is the third. This is the third of my list of Stranger Than Heaven from RGG Studios is putting Tupac in a video game, and it sucks.
Fucking sucks. Let him be dead. I don't know who signed off on this. There's also like the Stan Lee thing going around where like his corpse is being like puppeted around still, which is insane because like he was going through like elder abuse when he was alive. Like people were like putting their hands in his pockets. It's getting to a point now, Grant.
Yeah.
It's getting to a point now where between Steve Gaynor and the people who made Gone Home and the fucking nutso stories I've been hearing out of the people who made Disco Elysium, it's like there's no record of a game being made with zero issues. Like, no one can purchase a game at all unless it's like one guy, and we know that one guy is like morally not bankrupt. It's like, at what point, or it's like, well, just don't buy any games anymore, because like there's always some fucking asshole or a wife beater or a Nazi, or it's like there's always like shit going on with all this art that's being made. It's like impossible to like
it's bad. People, turns out, morally complicated. So
do we divide the art from the artist? Can we separate that?
Not even.
We should. It seems like the answer is no now.
No. In terms of authorial intent, yes. In terms of what Roland Barthes actually meant, then yes. But in terms of how it is used in popular culture, no, not that. Tupac. So here's the thing: if it was like, hey, there's a Tupac poster from a picture that he, like a promotional picture, and it's and it's like a poster in the background, then it's like, okay, fine, who gives a shit? Like, yes, they had to sign off, but it's like it's here's something he did when he was alive, and it's an asset in the game. Then it's like, I don't give a shit about that, really. Like, who cares? Or like, here's a Tupac song, here's a Tupac album artwork. All right, fine. The part where it's like now we're puppeting his corpse around feels really shitty.
It is very bizarre that there's like a Death Row Records like game division, and they could be bringing us a remaster of like the old Def Jam fighting games, but like Snoop Dogg's involved, and he must have gotten the okay from someone in Tupac's family. Snoop
But it
Dogg
also
went
seems
from
like maybe Tupac's estate is maybe actually managed not by his family and is instead managed by just some lawyer.
so yeah, and then like Snoop Dogg, like he sucks because like he used to be like a champion and a hero where you're like, yeah, cops are bad, and now he's just like, I'm just gonna hang out with like whoever the president is because fuck it, and you're like, are you fucking kidding me, Snoop Dogg? Go to hell. So that's all awful.
Bad.
But he's not even playing Tupac. He's playing like a fictional character.
Yeah, it's weird. I do not like it.
No, it's not weird. It's shitty and it's bad and it's evil and it's dumb. It is also
those things. Like I can't believe that they even thought that would be a good idea. Like
it's grotesque.
How did they think that would go over? Like, did they think
they don't give a fuck? They don't care.
But that's what the thing I would love to just be in the like a fly on the wall in these meetings. Like presumably someone said, oh, this isn't going to go over well. And they're like, what are you talking about? People love Tupac.
No, one guy who has all the power made the decision because he loves Tupac and got the okay, and everyone else can go straight to hell because they got the answer they wanted, and they're not going to patch him out. They don't care.
They should, but
it doesn't matter.
Let me put it this way. RGG has kind of like been in a rough spot. They've been putting out things that people have been making faces at recently. I certainly shan't be buying Stranger Than Heaven. Yikes. My fourth and final one is less bad than the first three. It's more of like, I am personally like not super having a good time. It's not that I'm
Jeff Keighley.
No, well, yeah. But no, Wolverine, the sheer amount of blood, it's like unsettling. And I'm like, I would be embarrassed. I think I would be embarrassed if I was playing this and my wife saw me playing this, or I think that I would be legitimately embarrassed by it. Like this is what they think that video games are. This is like, it's a parody of what people think video games are.
Well, my wife would skateboard by with a cigarette in her mouth and say, fucking cool, dude. Extreme to the max. No, you can turn the blood and the gore off, obviously. That's a setting. They said there's a setting
for.
It's for cool dudes who love extreme violence.
I don't love extreme violence, and I also like.
Then hit the bricks.
I also so here's the other thing is I think so when he gets really fucked, like he just gets like shot a bunch of times, and then he does his healing factor. That part was fine for me. The part where he he stabs a bunch of motherfuckers and then is just from his weird little plastic ears to his feet. Just covered in human blood.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is this, an Andrew WK album?
Lol. No, but it was cool how like he stepped into the water and then it like went away. Because like clearly they don't want you covered head to toe in blood like the whole time.
It seems like they want it to be a lot of the time.
But it's meant to like wash off as you just like take a couple steps or whatever. But just turn the sliders down, because I've heard this from people who got to a point with Mortal Kombat where they're like, I can't watch these fatalities. They're too realistic.
Some of it is fucked up, Jared.
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it was extreme, but then I like watched the Gears of War footage and I was like, yeah, now we're back. This reminds me of home, like chainsawing a dude in half.
But like James Bond, like I played that. James Bond kills a bunch of fucking dudes, but it's in a very like obviously this is a video game and not a movie, but it's like, this is a movie. Like, yeah, this is just some mook. This isn't reality. Whereas like when Wolverine like plunges his knuckle knives into somebody's chest and then a bunch of blood squirts all over him, I'm like, I'm not loving this. This isn't selling. I was already like, oh yeah, hey, a Wolverine game from Insomniac. I love those guys. And then this is, I'm like, oh, maybe I'm less into this Wolverine game than I thought I was.
You're gonna have to just turn the sliders down. I mean, like I don't know what to tell you other than just like turn the sliders down.
Yeah, it's not nearly as bad as the AI and Tupac stuff, but I did leave that trailer going, ugh.
Speaking of Wolverine, that's a great transition. I wrote down a short-ish list. You know how short my lists are. They're still very long. Of games that I thought were sort of standout announcements or standout things. Okay. And the first one is, have you seen the trailer for Vivarium?
I have not.
Grant, go to YouTube, put it on mute, and watch the gorgeous art style. And it's very clearly a certain person's art style.
I did see screenshots because I like vaguely follow things through via screenshots and text from Wario 64. I did see screenshots of this. Yes, it looks a little bit like a Ghibli movie.
No, a little bit. It is just Studio Ghibli, the video game.
Yeah.
Like walking, talking animals, like the little village in Japan, like what the humans wear, like everything about this is like super straight up Studio Ghibli. And it's like, wait, the whole game takes place in like a little terrarium? Like they're all like miniature and they're a little like snow globe thing? You're like, what is going on? That is stunning.
The other thing is like, you have to wonder, is all of this hand drawn or did they just create tech like a Cuphead type dealing where it's like you just created tech and like a bunch of fucking filters that makes it look like it's hand drawn?
I mean, there's that game Orbital's coming out this summer, which by the time you're listening to this podcast, Nintendo will have shown off and gotten a release date. But that also like looks like anime from a certain era, and you're like, how did they do that?
It's pretty cool. People also really loved how Ni no Kuni looked because it was very Ghibli like.
Yeah, absolutely. Can a Bridge of Spirits look like a Pixar movie? Like,
because this is the second one, right? This is like because they already made one at the beginning. Like this is like the sequel.
Yes. There was another game that I thought, oh, Grant might be interested in this. Let's just get the Grant games out of the way. It's a little game called Senua.
Yeah. They're owned by Microsoft, so I won't be buying them anytime soon. But I loved Ninja Theory. I loved Hellblade 1. I liked Hellblade 2 a lot. You did not. I did not care for 2. I think the response was the general like consensus was warmer than you were, but we're like, okay, this is fine, but this isn't revolutionary in the same way. I hoped that studio would be allowed to go do stuff, and turns out they're in the Hellblade mines.
They were trying to do a different project and it got canceled, and this seems like a reaction to 2, where it's like Microsoft probably told them, make a real game, like make a Devil May Cry or something, because you guys did that once upon a time. Otherwise, like, you're shut down. And so I bet you this is a much more action heavy, like more like it's their God of War.
That's way less interesting than them getting to go do something cool, though. I would much rather them make a bunch of, because that was kind of like the hope before they got bought, was that they would like, okay, well they made this. Look how this small studio was able to make something so amazing with Hellblade, and then they just got purchased and now they're just a Hellblade studio until they get repurposed to crank out. I don't know what some Elder Scrolls Online content or some bullshit.
Yeah, it's either that or a Call of Duty. Listen, it's either the studio doesn't exist or they make this game.
Yeah,
like that's ultimately what's going to happen.
It sucks though. Like it really really sucks. Like I'm sure that there are people there who are excited to make it, and that's great. I'm sure I have no doubt that they will put a lot of craft and care into the product, but I wish that they seem like such a talented group of people that I wish they were able to go make cool, new, weird stuff.
Can I tell you what I was the most excited for?
Let me get. Is it Wolf Among Us 2?
That is on my list. I'm very excited for Wolf Among Us 2. Again, I don't know the backstory of the development studio, who's making it, why it's taking so long.
Ad Hoc doing it. We could have had the fucking what the hell is that called?
Oh, Dispatch.
Yeah, Dispatch. I was thinking.
Yeah, but they did Dispatch, and that's great.
It is great.
Yeah. So I'll mention that they're remastering the first game because the original doesn't run really well. I actually tried to play it with Katie, my fiance.
On what, on a PC or something?
No, on my Xbox. She really liked Dispatch. I'm like, oh, let's do Wolf Among Us. And we got like halfway through, and it was like just buggy, and I was like, oh, this is
I think I was playing it at the time because that came out in such a weird period. I feel like I was playing it on a Mac, an iMac running Windows. Like I dual booted it and would run games on Windows, and I think that's how I played. I think I played that game on Steam on an iMac.
Jeez. So the sequel's coming. I'm gonna get into the first one again, and well, hopefully it's great.
I liked that game, and I thought it ended in a very wonk kind of way.
No, it's a noir. Noir endings are like that. It was perfect. Anywho, that's not the game I was the most excited for. What game do you think I was the most excited for?
I mean, that was what I thought you were the most. Is it Control Resonant?
No. That's another good guess. Control Resident looking fucking awesome. Hopefully it sells.
Is it Street Fighter 6 DLC?
I was very excited for Street Fighter 6 DLC. I'm going to scratch that off the list. Fucking Tifa, dude. Yo, let's go.
Tifa. I mean, legitimately, I was like, oh man, because Tifa just makes so much fucking sense as a fighting game character in the way that like they keep putting fucking Cloud and Sephiroth in fighting in other games, and I'm like,
and Smash.
Tifa makes the most sense to be in a fighting game. Put Tifa in the game.
People were asking Harada-san. Tekken, like, put her in Tekken. She's perfect for Tekken. And he was explaining all the reasons why it would be, like, very hard to do. And I think because Street Fighter 6 is selling so well, Square is like, oh, we got to jump on that bandwagon. So they probably gifted Tifa to them.
Well, here's the thing, is I'm sure that it actually legitimately is really hard for somebody who has, like, an established, like, moveset and stuff to make that fit into a different game. I'm sure that is legitimately really hard to do. But when you have something like Final Fantasy VII, you got to fucking do it because it will make you $1 jillion.
That's true. No, you still have not guessed the game I was the most excited. God of War, Laufey. The moment I saw Deborah Ann Wool's gorgeous eyes open, I immediately knew that this was going to be, whatever year it came out, my Game of the Year winner. Because, Jesus fucking Christ, it looks beautiful. It seems like it is the most fun to play. They're throwing every god from every mythology in there, and Jack Quaid plays a talking cosmic cube. This was jaw-dropping. I cannot believe they're just going for it, and I was stunned that they didn't call it Goddess of War. I think they still need the branding of God of War, so it's not a great name. But the fact that they were just like...
she's not going to be the God of War, right?
She could be the Goddess of War.
But I mean, I don't think that she is. Like, I think that that's the whole thing, is like, she's not going to be a God of War.
Hey, man, you do what you want. Ares is dead. Now Kratos is the god of it. Just make it up. This is my most anticipated game, bar none. I was blown away because it was so colorful and over the top, but it was also like a warm blanket and cookies where you're like, oh, I know how this is going to feel. Oh, sign me the fuck up for this.
I mean, I think we can make some assumptions that the soundtrack by Bear McCreary is going to slap. I'm a huge Bear McCreary head.
Yep.
His work on the Sarah Connor Chronicles remains excellent to this day. And then not Highlander.
I hope my fiance is not hearing this. She's not listening because this would wreck our home. Would I toss my life away for Deborah Ann Wool? Yes, I would.
Outlander is what I was thinking of, not Highlander.
Oh, Outlander. Yes, of course. That was by far my most like, holy shit, does that look interesting and fun and cool and unique, even though it is still in the sort of like, people were calling it Devil Fay Cry.
Sure.
Because there's a lot of air combat. My number 2 most anticipated is Castlevania Belmont's Curse, because it is the Dead Cells people making a new Castlevania, and you level up, and you do the big jump, and you can turn upside down, and there's wall meat, and you kill death. Brilliant.
So Final Fantasy VII Revelation, which is the third in the remake series, was announced, and they showed, and that I think that showed really well.
It did.
They showed a bunch of stuff that looked cool as shit, which is like you're flying around in the airship, and you're parachuting into places, which is where we're dropping, boys.
Yep.
They showed that there's a job system. There's basically the dress sphere from Final Fantasy X.
The job system sold me. I was like, man, I gotta buy the other ones now.
Dude, I think here is my argument to you. You should play the first 2 on the motherfucking Switch 2. They're pretty good, and you can play that, especially because the second game has Queen's Blood.
Queen's Blood, yes. I played the demos for both of them, and I was like, listen, it's no Kingdom Hearts. I might pick them up because they're on sale, and then slowly trudge through them for next year.
They're so fun. They're like let me put it this way. They're so easy to just press forward and play, because there's so much of it is like, it's very cinematic and very active combat. I think that if you played through them, if you got through your kind like hemming and hawing about JRPGs, I think you would have a great fucking time.
I'm not opposed to a turn-based RPG.
But
And also, I'm just opposed to like
this is
endless cutscenes.
Literally, like huge overlap in the dev teams of the Kingdom Hearts games, and
That's true.
so like the combat is so similar. Like I'm not saying it's identical. It obviously is not identical, but each of the characters, and you get more of them as you play. As you go through different things, you're getting more and more people to choose from, and you can kind of like customize more and more heavily as time goes on. You can kind of like lean into how you want to play. I think that if you gave in and just played those games and say, I'm going to play these, I'm going to try my best to finish these, I think you would end up having an incredible time leaning into one, Queen's Blood, and two, the combat. I think you would once you've gotten all the way invested in the combat, I think you in particular would just go nuts for it.
Well, we're going to see, because I'll probably pick them up. But I think it was a huge missed opportunity. The first one's called Remake. The second one's called Rebirth. Why wasn't this Revelation?
Well, the other thing is it needed to be Reunion, but they used that weirdly for the Crisis Core remake, because Reunion is like the very obvious thing in Final Fantasy VII, and like the storytelling is Reunion as a thing that's going to happen in the world, like, or that people are trying to make happen in the world. It made so much sense for the third one to be called Reunion, and then they just burned the title on a remake of a PSP game, and it's the most insane thing that has ever happened.
Very silly. Quickly, though, I will scatter through some of these. We're getting a fucking Code Veronica remake. Woohoo!
I was not that I was skeptical that they would do it. I was like more like, how many people could have possibly played Code Veronica and are like begging for a Code Veronica remake? Like,
because
it's a Dreamcast game. What are we doing?
No, it's the pedigree of what they've done for the last 10 years of new and, / old RE games. So they're taking something that maybe didn't work and giving it, like, the polish and the time, they're going to fix whatever problems, and they're going to make it into something that's like, damn, hell yeah. You know what I mean?
Sure.
They're like, there's an old mansion, there's like an Antarctic base, there's like a weird, flamboyant, evil villain, there's obviously like cool new monsters, like, just sign me up. Sign me up. I'm super down for that. There's a demo for Onimusha? I have to download that. I want to play that.
I have never played an Onimusha game.
Neither have I, but, I mean, I like Sekiro a lot, so there's a lot of pairing. There are 2 Cuphead games coming.
That is weird. It felt strange because they're like,
it's not weird. It's great.
Because one of them is experimental, and like it seems like they're putting out like a Master System game essentially.
Yep. It's going to be ported to the Master System. Yeah. Which
is wild. And like it's cool, but I also feel they're like, okay, but we're also doing a for real game, which I mean, kind of I feel like I don't know, undersells what they're making for the other thing.
No, I'm excited. Give me all the Cuphead you got. There's a Platinum Games Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle thing. I don't know how that's going to turn out. There's a motherfucking new Spyro. Let's go! New Spyro.
I have some stuff. Are you done? I have some additional things.
You toss in some, and then I'll finish off my list.
I think that the 1666 Amsterdam...
I had that written down, yeah.
Looks very cool. This is from some of the folks that were doing Assassin's Creed.
Yep.
So this is that. I think it looks great. I think the Star Wars Galactic Racer, the trailer that they showed was like a really lovely trailer that heavily evoked the good times of playing Pod Racer.
That and Zero Company, which is like XCOM. I'm interested in.
Clutch, which is like a narrative racing game, which I feel like we have not had a meaningful narrative racing game in like a million years.
I can't even name you one.
Need for Speed kind of.
Oh yeah, the old Need for Speeds, yeah, a little. Yeah.
And I feel like didn't they do like an FMV Need for Speed in like the mid PlayStation 4?
Yeah.
Yeah. But what I'm point being, it's been a while. And so these are people. These are people who worked on the Forza Horizon and kind of like spun out an indie studio. So I'm interested in that. Rayman Legends Retold.
Yep.
I don't know if that needed it to be remade.
Yeah, I don't love the art style change, but
if it makes more people play Rayman Legends,
yeah,
then okay,
then we can get more Rayman games.
It would be nice. But I really want them to be like that 2D style is what I want them to be.
Yeah.
P4R, the remake of Persona 4, I will 100% play it. P4 is my game, is my Persona. It's the Persona that I care about the most. And then they kind of sort of announced Persona 6. Like, they did it.
No, they announced it.
But they announced it.
It's
but
green.
They gave us basically nothing. Like, it wasn't that much more than a logo build. Like, there was a little bit more, but it wasn't that, because they're like, high school students will be doing some mysterious bullshit. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, we know that part.
And now it's green.
That part's not great. Alien Isolation 2, it was basically just like a mood trailer. It didn't really like indicate really anything new. Well, we don't really.
It's in a city.
Sure,
it's not a space station.
Gen Atlas, which is the Ueda game.
Yeah, I
look forward to playing that in 2040.
Okay.
I don't like everything. Every time I've seen Blood of Dawnwalker or Blood of the Dawnwalker, I just go, eh. Like, maybe that game will be great because this is from some former, CD Projekt Red people. Maybe it's great, but every time I see a trailer, I go, I don't know if this is for me. This doesn't seem like a Grant game.
I think it could be for us if it's more Witcher. But will it be?
It's really hard to tell from what we have seen so far. And I think it is a game that will, whether or not I end up playing it, will depend heavily on not just does it review well, but like, what does it actually play? Like, what is the moment to moment like?
Listen, I think there's going to be a number of games coming out in September and October that just need to be pushed. Yeah. And because there's going to be no breathing room. And I think some of them
will be delayed out of the year, I think is the reality.
Because with Nintendo tomorrow, fuck man, this year's.
And nuts. I have one big fart noise, and that's Stellar Blade Blood Rain. Yo, they made the character younger and hornier. I fucking hate that shit. Fuck Stellar Blade.
Did you play the first one?
No.
Why do you care?
Because I think they're leaning into like the Gooner.
It's a Gooner bait. Yeah.
Fuck that shit. Fuck them.
Let people be horny.
But they're making them look younger, and I don't like that part.
She's not a teenager. She's of age.
Dude, Stellar Blade.
I think. I think.
I think it's like a robot lady, right?
I mean, ultimately, yes. Listen.
Bad. Don't do it.
I can't just blanket say sexy thing can't be sexy.
No.
There's an audience for that.
It's not. I'm not against sexy thing. I'm against, like, this is weird, porny male gaze bullshit. There's lots of... Dude, I like lots of games that have sex and sexuality, but they aren't...
Yeah, like Bayonetta 3.
Oh, sure, yes, exactly. Like,
you should play that.
Those are not... But, like, Bayonetta is like it's like a whole other fucking kettle of fish of bullshit.
I know.
But it's like, there are games that, like, and movies and TV shows and whatever art that can be sexy and deal with sex, but aren't like, hey everybody, check out my Gooner bait. Like, that's a whole separate, the gross male gaze Gooner bait shit is a whole separate issue of, does this have sexuality? Is this deal with sexiness? Is it or sexuality in general? Like, they're two separate issues. I'm fine with sex and sexuality in games. I'm a little squicked out by Stellar Blade.
This is smut.
Yeah.
People can buy smut if they want. Let the smut havers have their smut. But I'm not going to be mortally whatever about smut.
Why aren't you just watching hentai? Like, why what do you get out of it being an action game? That's the part that I don't understand.
Hentai doesn't run at 60 frames per second and have a Souls-like combat. I don't know.
Makes you think.
Now that I played the Silent Hill 2 remake, I am very interested in getting Silent Hill Townfall and playing F and playing the remake of 1 that they're going to do. No. I'm waiting for the price to, like, really drop.
People love that Silent Hill.
I know. Haley Atwell being in a Fable game is cool. And Naja from What We Do in the Shadows, that actress is also in Fable, so that was good that they got jobs. Halo's in July? I mean, I will have fun replaying that game. Again, it's an unnecessary remake. They don't need to do it. I know they're going to put it on PS5. If you were not boycotting Microsoft, you would enjoy the co-op experience of Halo. You've never played a Halo game.
I played some Halo back when we early on. You and I did a game switch, and then you backed out of it. But I had played some of the original Halo. Your because you were gonna play Disco, and you were gonna.
I did play Disco.
No, you played a little bit of Disco, and then you said, "Okay, I'm not going to continue playing. You can stop playing Halo now."
I bounced hard. And I also think that Gears of War E-Day looks fucking awesome, and I'm a huge Gears of War nut. And everything that they're doing is very cool. I very much like the direction they're taking of, like, we're going back to, like, that Mad World trailer, and it's, like, the feelings that evoked of, like, this should be fucking scary, and, like, you're shooting monsters.
Yeah, and I feel like I need to be clear that, like, there are people who work at Microsoft Studios that and studios in the whole that I have massive amounts of respect for and hope that they don't lose their jobs. But obviously, I am boycotting Microsoft because of the situation in Gaza, and will not be buying any Microsoft games.
How many more companies do you think are, like, supplying Israel with stuff? You think it's like Meta and Google and Amazon? Like cloud server shit, like how many companies do you think are like a part of this thing?
I mean, a non-trivial amount, especially like the tech stuff, like lots of them. The tech side, a lot of them, for sure. But the Microsoft one is extremely targeted and for very specific purposes. So, by all means, support the BDS boycott of Microsoft. Because genocide is evil and should not be accepted.
This was the ultimate conclusion of The Good Place, which was a NBC sitcom. And stop me if you've heard this before, listener, but ultimately they found that, like, the heaven and hell was like a point system, and the good things you did on Earth karmically gave you positive points, and bad things you did gave you negative points. And they found that, like, at a certain point in, like, life on Earth, no one was getting positive points because, like, everything that you were doing, like, was supplying or funding evil entities. So it was like the food you were getting was like slave labor, and like the clothes you were wearing is slave labor, and the phones you were purchasing are slave labor, and like every company that like that owned something was like going to like a billionaire. So it was like it was impossible to get into heaven because it was like everything that you did was funding the wrong thing. And so like the angels and the demons had to like recalculate the equation. I think about that a lot.
Yeah,
no reason.
Yeah, I mean, you can realize that there is no way to be perfect, but something as simple as don't play these games, play different games, I think is easy enough to deal with. And I think that, like, Microsoft, because it isn't just the IDF bought Windows licenses. It's not that. It is as things, especially as more reporting has come out, the amount of really heinous shit that Microsoft has helped enable is really frustrating. And when you put pressure on them, even if it means like even if it means that they don't get rid of everything, but if it means that they are more hesitant to partner with genocidal institutions, then I think that it's worth doing. If it can reduce the amount of suffering, the amount of evil, I think it's worth doing.
Nah, money talks and bullshit walks. As long as there's money, they'll do whatever the fuck anyone wants. Anyways, that's a great note to end on. What a positive, encouraging message about the state of the world as we conclude. Grant, people can find our work in many places. Please remind me of the ones I'm missing. We're on Twitch, we're on YouTube, we're on Blue Sky, we're on YouTube. We're on YouTube. Are we on YouTube? Blue Sky. Instagram, TikTok.
More importantly, Patreon. If you go to videogame.town/donate, you can find our Patreon, where you can get a bonus episode every single month. For $5 American, you get bonus content. And the higher tiers kind of allow you to help influence the coverage that we have, which we would really very much appreciate. And if you don't want to do a subscription, which is understandable, we also have a Ko-fi. So if you just want to throw us a couple bucks, you can do that way. And then if you don't have any money to spend, which is increasingly the option for many people, is that they don't have money to spend. If you could just rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, which are Spotify has its own fucking boycott. Like, listen, obviously there's problems, but if you could do that, it would make a meaningful difference to us. Please do that. We would like it.
And we're also on YouTube. All right. Well, thank you for listening. We're going to have a series of guest appearances coming up on the pod. So be sure to check out our YouTube page. I keep pushing that to see the video version. Or if you just want to listen, you can just listen on your regular feed. And we'll be back eventually. But until then, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.